Hi, I'd like to show you a new feature available now for Site Manager users. Previously, if you configured an external data source to be used as a base map or an imagery layer, you haven't been able to configure the attribution effectively. So we've made a few changes that now make that possible. So if we have a look at one of the maps I have on screen here, my enterprise map, and I go and edit the contents of that map, and we go and manage our data sets. What I'd like to do here is add an imagery layer that I've configured as a data source already. I can do that by clicking on the Add button. And then I can have a look at the data sources that I already have configured. In this example, I want to add the New South Wales imagery XYZ service that I've set up already. If I go and click an Insert Layer, it adds it to my imagery group. And while I'm here, I want to rename this to something a little bit more appealing. So I'm going to edit this layer. I'm going to change the name to Spatial Services Imagery. And click on Save. With that done, I can now go and view my map. Once I load my map, I'll have a look at the contents of the layer list by expanding the menu on the left-hand side. I can go and turn on the Spatial Services Imagery layer. Now, if I look down the bottom right-hand side of screen, I'll see that the attribution for this layer actually says Spatial Services Imagery, the same as the layer name. And while that's okay, it's not as accurate as what we'd like to be. So if I go back to Site Manager and come down to Data Sources, I'm going to go to the data source that I added to my map, which was this New South Wales imagery, XYZ, and I'm going to go into the settings of this data source. What I can do in here is add the attribution content that I want to appear in Pozi for this particular layer. So if I click on Add Attribution, I can go and get the copyright text that I want to appear in Pozi, add that in here, and get a hyperlink to the actual copyright material or the terms and conditions and insert it in here. Then I can also include an image for that site, such as, in this case rather, the New South Wales State Government. So if I save that and confirm those changes, and now I go back to my map, give that a refresh, what we'll notice when the imagery loads now, if I go down to the bottom right-hand corner, is the copyright text now reads as I put it into the attribution box for that data source. And when I click on it, it takes me to the hyperlink for the terms and conditions that I set up in Site Manager. So now in Site Manager, we can configure accurate attribution for any external source that we add for imagery and base map layers.